Welcome. This is an exercise on how to add connectors to a plumbing fixture. And this applies also for other things that need connectors. I opened our project law office chapter 16 starter file because I know in there is a sink that has connectors. So I'm going to go to the mechanical tab and I'm going to go to domestic water view. And if you recall from our exercises, we did the water connections to this sink. And if we click on it, we notice it has a hot water connector, a cold water connector, and two drain connectors. In our final project, we were going to install a sink that wasn't the double sink. It was the kitchen island sink. So let's put that sink in. And I'm not going to put it on this countertop because it's going to be too crowded. I'm just going to put it on this countertop even though it's a reception desk. We still can do it. Systems, plumbing fixture, and then I want to select the sink that we wanted to do. Scroll down to it is the kitchen island sink, 18 by 18. And when I put it here, I'm going to put it so that the plumbing connections face the wall. All I got to do is hit the space bar. And it's there. I hit escape to get out of the insert command. And if I click too much. If I click on the sink, it has no connection. Notice it's not like this sink that has the connection. So let's add them. If I double click on it, it opens the edit family. I can also just click on it, and up here I go to the edit family button. So here we are. So I make sure I'm in the create tab and I slide over here to pipe connectors. I'm going to put that pipe connector on the face. This time it picks I don't want to put it on the top face of the faucet handle, but on the bottom face. So I put my connector there, and there it is. Now I got to make sure I got the right type of connector. I have a connector there, but I want to make sure I'm the right type of connector. It looks kind of big for sure. The diameter is 1/2 inch, not 2 feet. 0.5 inches. Flow configuration, and this is internal to the connector. As long as this one's not critical. The one that's critical is going to be in a minute. So fixture units, flow direction in, loss method, we can specify it, and I'll specify it in a minute. This one doesn't need slope because it's water connection, not. And because it's on the left side, it's going to be domestic hot water. So I make sure I'm on domestic hot water. The fixture units is bytecode is 1.5 fixture units. The pressure drop at somewhere in the neighborhood of 8 psi. Hit apply. Now I have my connector. I'll do the same for the cold, but when I modify it, I make sure that I select domestic cold water. I will do the same for the drainage. The fixture units will change to 3 because we have 1.5 coming in from either side. So what goes in must go out. It doesn't require a pressure drop because the sewer is not under pressure. And so the only difference is I would change the diameter here to something larger, like 2 inches, and I would make sure that I change the classification to sanitary. And that's it. I'm going to skip that, but it's exactly the same process. So I apply that. I'm only going to have a hot water connection to this, but I think you get the flavor. I'm going to load that into the project, and it says, "Or you already have a sink. Are you sure you want to do this?" I'm going to override it. Yes. So when I click on the sink, I notice that, yes, look at that. It has a 1/2 inch connection. The water's going in, and 1.5 fixture units. So let's right click on this connector. First, I'm going to find out the height of the hot water. The hot water is a 9'8". Okay, so I'm going to click on this, right click on the connector. I'm going to draw a pipe. I want to draw the pipe at the height of the connector, but we can't go horizontally because we won't be able to make that turn. So we're gonna go drop down a little bit, and Revit automatically adds the verticals for us if we have this checked. So I'm gonna drop down to below 3 feet. I'm gonna drop down to 2 feet. So Revit already drew a vertical for me, and I'm gonna go across at 2 feet into the wall. And then now I have to go across. At some point, I got to get to the same height as the hot water here. So I'm gonna do it now. I could come across, and then Revit will make a vertical connection for me, but I would have a pipe running across the hallway. I want to get above the ceiling now. So 9'8". Revit drew the 9'8" pipe for me, and I'm gonna come to the hot water. And Revit does this neat little trimming here for me. Note to make sure it indicates that pipes cross, one's above the other, so they don't connect to each other. And that's it. I'm done. For the sake of clarity, I'm gonna change my detail level to fine, and there's the pipe going across. If I click on this, it'll be a 2 feet. If I click on this one, it will be a 9'8", and that's it. In section, there's our new sink. Let me get up above the ceiling here. There's our new sink. There's our hot water. Let me change my detail to fine. There's our hot water. Goes down from the faucet, up in the wall, and it connects to the hot water down the stream. Let me show another section of that from the other direction. So when we look at it, and let me get above the ceiling here. Change the detail level to fine. So we look at the sink we just put in. Hot water comes in, goes out to 10 feet, and it goes across and connects to the other hot water. And that's the sink we had before. So that's how you put a connection on a fixture that didn't have one originally. Hope this helps.